All right, so today we are going to talk about solving equations. But these are not your regular equations. These equations have variables on both sides. So now we have this situation where it's not just one variable appearing, there could be multiple variables. And we've done it before where they've been on one side where we've seen and we just combine like terms, but in this case, they're going to be on opposite sides, so that does present a problem. Let's take a look. If I gave you the equation, for example, 3x plus 7 equals 5x minus 3. So here's an equation, and what I have is variables on both sides. Well, I can't solve for two variables. I want to solve for one variable. So the trick here is, okay, get rid of one of the variables. How can I get rid of one of the variable terms? What can I do? Subtract them. So which one, the question is, which one do you get rid of? I hear 3x, I hear 5x, I hear... In this case, you most probably want to get rid of the smaller variable term. So in this case, the smaller variable term is the 3x. So what am I going to do? I'm going to subtract 3x from both sides because I've got to keep it balanced. So if I subtract it from this side, I'll subtract the 3x from that side, from the other side. When you do that, the 3x and the negative 3x cancel out, and I get 7 equals, what's 5x minus 3x? 2x, and then I get minus 3. Now, it's a straightforward equation. Two-step equation. What do I do now? Add 3 to both sides. Okay. When I do that, what do I get? 10 equals 2x, because the negative 3 and the 3 cancel out. What do I do now?
Divide both sides by 2.
Divide both sides by 2. Okay, what's 10 divided by 2?
5.
And the 2's cancel to give me x. So what I get is x is equal to 5. It really is that simple. The trick is to get rid of the variable, one of the variable terms first. Now, the tricky part about this is, what if I had done the 5x first? What if I had subtracted 5x from both sides instead? Would I have gotten the same answer? Yes. And the answer to that is yes, I would have. And I want to show you how that works. It had 3x, was it 3x plus 7 equals 5x minus 3? If I had started this one but subtracted the 5x first, subtract 5x from both sides, what would I end up with? Negative 2x plus 7 equals negative 3. Okay, now what? Subtract 7 from both sides, and I get what? Negative 2x equals negative 10, and then I divide both sides by negative 2. And when I do that, I get x equals 5. And again, I could have done that. But wait. Could I have started by subtracting 7 from both sides? Yes. Yeah. Could I have started by adding 3 to both sides? Yes. So in reality, there were actually 4 different ways that I could have done this problem. And I will always come up with the same answer. The trick, the biggest trick of all, when you get an equation, is whatever you do, you have to do to both sides. And if you do it to both sides, you're always going to get the right answer. Okay, take a look at this problem. And now I'm going to throw in something that's going to show you why we've done other things before, which is 6/5 y plus 8 equals 4/5 y minus 10. Now, this one can get a little bit confusing because we have the fractions. So what could I do to help me out here first? Get rid of the fractions by multiplying the entire equation by 5. And that's everything by 5. All right, help me out here. 5 times 6/5 y is 6y. Plus 5 times 8 is 40. Equals 5 times 4/5 y is 4y. Minus 5 times negative 10 is negative 50. Okay, now, what would you do to solve this? Subtract 4y from both sides, because that is the smaller one. I would take that. 6y minus 4y is? 2y plus 40 equals negative 50. Now what? Subtract 40 from both sides, and I get 2y equals negative 90. And then divide both sides by 2. So y is equal to negative 45. And that is the correct answer. And if you wanted to check, if you had time on your test, go back and plug in negative 45 into the equation. And if you get the same thing on both sides of the equation, then you know you got it right. And I would always do that. I would always recommend that to you. I would like you to try this one on your own. So let me write the question down, and then I want you to pause the video and try this, and we'll see if you get it right. So here's the question. 1/2 p minus 15 equals 3/4 p minus 3. Pause the video and try this on your own. Okay, let's see if you got the right answer. I would have started and I would have multiplied the entire equation by 4. 4 times 1/2 p would give me 2p. 4 times negative 15 is negative 60. 4 times 3/4 p is 3p. And 4 times negative 3 is negative 12. At this point, I would subtract a 2p from both sides, which would give me negative 60 equals p minus 12. Adding 12 to both sides gives me negative 48 equals p. And so p equals negative 48. Did you get that right? I know you did. Of course, the people in the background didn't help. All right, try this one for me. See how well you do. That's a 2.1x plus 3 equals 3.1x minus 2. Pause the video and try this one. Okay, let's see if you got this right. In this case, because it's a decimal and I want to get rid of the decimals, I'm going to multiply the entire equation by 10. 10 times 2.1x gives me 21x. 10 times 3 gives me 30. 10 times 3.1x gives me 31x. And 10 times negative 2 gives me negative 20. I think I'll start by subtracting 21x from both sides. That'll give me 30 equals 10x minus 20. If I add 20 to both sides, I get 50 equals 10x. Divide both sides by 10. So x will be equal to 5. How many people got x was equal to 5? Great. All right, now I'm going to pause the video for a second and be right back. All right, I'm back. Did you miss me? I know I was gone for so long, like a second. Here we go. I'm going to give you this problem, and I want to see how well you do with it. You're going to have to pause the video and work on this problem, and then we'll go over it. A personal trainer charges a one-time fee of $60 plus $25 for each individual session. A fitness club charges a yearly fee of $450 plus $10 for each individual session with a personal trainer. Write and solve an equation to determine for what number of sessions will the cost be equal. Pause the video and work on this problem, and we'll see how well you do. All right, let's see how well you did with this. If you take this equation or this question and you break it up into its parts, start with the first part. A personal trainer charges a one-time fee of $60 plus $25 for each individual session. That means that it's charging $60 plus $25 per session. That's the total cost. 60 plus 25 per session, because X is the number of sessions, right? When I look at the fitness club, theirs is $450 plus $10 for each session. So what would be their total cost? $450 plus 10x. If I want to know when those will be the same, I want to set those equal to each other. So my equation should be 60 plus 25x equals 450 plus 10x. Now I can solve this. What do I do first? Subtract 10x from both sides. Okay? When I do that, I get 60 plus 15x equals 450. Now I will subtract 60 from both sides. So I get 15x equals 390. Divide by 15. And I get x equals 390 divided by 15 is 26. So my answer is 26 sessions. 26 sessions. Okay, so let's see how much you have learned and how much you understand this. Tonight, what I want you to do is I want you to do page 358, but I want you to only do numbers 1 through 7. And this way I can check to see how well you know what's going on, and then we're going to look at this tomorrow and see if you truly understood how to solve equations with variables on both sides.